Hi, my name is Anya, and today I thought I would make these Portuguese tartlets. Going through Instagram the other day, and I saw these egg tartlets, and they looked amazing. So I thought I really wanted to make it. So I found this amazing recipe on the tasty table for these Portuguese egg tartlets, and I thought I'd try it, and this is how I made it. Half sticks of softened butter. I'm in South Africa. 1.5 sticks of butter is equivalent to 172.5 grams of butter. So in a small bowl, I had 172.5 grams of softened butter. And in a medium-sized bowl, I mixed together 1 3/4 of plain flour, 2/3 of water, and a pinch of salt. And I used the dough hook to mix the mixture together until it became a ball of dough. I turned it out onto a lightly floured surface, and I shaped it into a rectangle. The recipe said to put it into a 1-inch rectangle. I just did it freehand, where I just formed it into a small rectangle, and then I rolled it out into the thickness of a 1/2-inch rectangle. Like I said, I went freehand. I just rolled until I assumed it was a 1/2-inch. Then I covered it in plastic wrap and let it rest for 15 minutes. Then I removed the plastic wrap and rolled it into a 15-inch square. Like I said before, it was all freehand. I'm not sure about my measurements, but that is how I rolled mine out. Then with the softened butter that we mixed previously, I spread 1/3 of the softened butter onto half of the dough, leaving some space between the borders. Then I folded it over the rest of the dough over top, pinched the edges, rolled over the dough until it was 15 inches. Butter all over the dough, leaving a around the dough. As the recipe said, to roll the dough, it becomes a tight roll in plastic wrap, but unfortunately my roll was a bit too long, so I cut it in half and I wrapped it in cling wrap. Then I put it in the freezer overnight. Small saucepan over medium heat, added 1 cup of sugar, 2/3 cup of water, and 1 cinnamon stick. I let that come to the boil and let it boil for a minute, and then I took it off the heat. While that cools, I took the dough out of the freezer and I let it sit on the counter for a few minutes. Then I cut small little segments out of the dough. The recipe, it says you can get 30 out of the roll. Since mine was cut in half, it was 15 per roll, and I did get that. Once I cut the rounds out of each roll, I lightly pressed it into a baking tray. So they used tinfoil ready-made round. Unfortunately, I did not have any while I was baking, so I just used a normal muffin tin, which they said that we could use. It won't yield the same results, but it will be similar. I pressed the dough rounds in. Once I pressed the dough into the molds, I moved on to the second part of the filling. In a medium-sized saucepan, I heated up 1 milk plus 1 tablespoon of milk over medium heat until it started to boil, which took about 5 minutes. For the size glass bowl, I mixed together a 1/2 cup of flour and 5 tablespoons of milk until it became a paste. To that, I added the boiling milk and I made it smooth. I added the simple cinnamon sugar mixture to the smooth mixture, and I mixed it until it was well combined. Then I returned it back to the saucepan over medium heat until it starts to thicken, stirring throughout. The recipe said that it takes 10 to 12 minutes to thicken. Mine took 10 minutes. Heated it up, I separated the egg yolks from the egg whites. Once I had all the 6 egg yolks, I put it to the side until the mixture thickened. Once it was thick enough, I added the yolks little by little, whisking, ensuring that the egg yolks don't cook. Once the mixture was thick enough, I put it through a sieve. Your dough pressed into your mold in the fridge so that it can firm up about 15 minutes. take your dough out of the fridge and dip your warm filling into the pastry shells. In the recipe it said 500 degrees Fahrenheit, but that's equivalent to 260 degrees Celsius here in South Africa. Once again, my oven had this rich yellow custardy appearance and looks stunning. It has a black spot, which means that it cooked perfectly, and it's stunning. The crust is this beautiful golden color. And let's stop talking and actually taste this. This is so good. Amazing. So it has this amazing custard filling and a crunchy base. Amazing. 10 out of 10 would recommend to anyone.